Cool.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Copy Corner with your host, Terry Schilling. And
sorry, I cut you off there, Terry. I was excited. Dan Marzullo.
I was going a little too slow. I was like, that's my bad. Maybe it was just lack of practice, poor communication there. But everybody, we're not going to edit that out. That's not what we do here at the Copy Corner. But this is our corner of the internet. Exactly. Our corner of the internet where we like to talk about copywriting, content writing, marketing tips to help grow your business, whether you're a freelancer, whether you're a marketer, solo business owner. Copywriting is essential. Writing is essential to growing your business. So that's what we like to do here, deliver some actionable tips. And today we're going to speak to a lot of the freelance side, but also just businesses in general, Dan, about the feast or famine cycle and some of our best advice to avoid this dreaded cycle in your business.
Absolutely, Terry. So before we jump into that, why don't you tell the people a bit more about the feast and famine cycle if they're not familiar with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you may be wondering, what is this? I've heard of this before. Have I experienced it? I feel like there's a good chance that you have. So what the feast or famine cycle is, so let's say I had a month in January where I made $8,000, right? Great month considering, hit my finance goals, my revenue goals, had onboarded a bunch of new clients. I have all this work to do. Great. Now it's time to bunker down, do this work. So I'm doing all this work in February. By the time February ends and March rolls around, I don't have any new leads. February was a slow month for me. I made only 5K, so I had even a worse month. And now I don't have a lot of leads going into March. So what am I going to do? How can I reach that high again, that I had in January where I was having all these clients and, hitting all those revenue goals? It's this common up and down roller coaster where sometimes you're feasting and you're happy, you're on this high, and then, you need work. Then you're hungry, right? The famine side of things.
Right.
So we just want to share, because this happens to all of us. Dan and I were just talking that I still go through with this. I have great months and then I have some slower months, and just wondering what can I do to get more consistent. So that's what we want to share with you guys today. Some of our best pieces of advice to help avoid this.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Yeah. So go ahead, Dan. What do you want to share today?
Yeah. So my first tip here, I'm gonna coin a new acronym, ABP. Instead of always be closing, always be prospecting. So,
ooh, I like it.
If you haven't heard it before, just remember Dan Marzullo.
No. Coffee's for prospectors instead of coffee's for closers.
There you go. Right. Coffee's for prospecting. So that's where it all starts, right? I think that's the best piece of advice for this is, that feast or famine up and down cycle. The only way to really avoid that is to always be prospecting and keeping your pipeline full. If you do that, if you stop doing that, your pipeline dries up and then eventually you're going to run out of work. So take some time, at least every week, if not daily, pencil it in your schedule to spend that time on outreach, right? Doing some outbound prospecting to find new people that could need your services, whatever it is that you do, and build those relationships. Because as soon as you stop, say you get super busy, like Terry said, you're crushing all this work. And then next month comes around, you're like, cool, my projects are done, but I did no prospecting that month because I was so busy. And now you're like, oh, crap, we're having the 5K versus the 8K month that Terry mentioned, right? So I think that's the single most critical thing you can do is constantly be prospecting, and you'll always have full pipeline. So you're going to always have new work coming in. As soon as you stop that, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll play along with that too. It's such great advice, Dan. And it's the same thing as don't stop marketing your business too. So the prospecting side of it is just that outreach, but marketing, it's even writing a LinkedIn post, and it doesn't even have to be a complete call to action, but it could be something, where you're just sharing your insight and you're getting some engagement. But then you can also create posts for people to sign up for your newsletter. And then maybe you have an offer at the end of the month, maybe a masterclass for people to pay for, and you can, promote that in your newsletter. But don't stop that marketing side, whether it's posting on LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. If you have some availability coming up, let people know that. Some of your friends may see it and being they might reshare your tweet or reshare it on LinkedIn, or know somebody who's looking for a copywriter or freelancer, whatever your skill may be. So always be prospecting. Don't stop marketing. All right.
Absolutely.
And don't stop believing in yourself.
Don't stop believing. ABP and Always be marketing, always be prospecting.
And then DSB, don't stop believing.
There you go.
That's what it is. Another piece of advice that I want to share with you, because again, if you want to hit these goals, you need to have this money plan for yourself of charging your rates. Of what am I going to earn? What do I need to make to, pay all my bills and, live this lifestyle that I want? So my piece of advice is raise your prices and raise them often, right? If you're doing a really good job and you're finding this niche and like you're doing website copy, you have this, this really tight package service that people really need. And it's really valuable. You can raise that, add a little bit more to it. But if you have that proof and that experience, sell that and then raise that price. So then, if I sell 2 of these, I'm going to be more than okay. I'm going to continue to hit that goal. So look at that, bundling packages, raising your prices, because I think what happens in a big trap of people of getting in this feast or famine cycle is being almost too affordable, Dan, and to everyone listening out there. You're lowering your price. You want this work. You want to be like the Walmart and Amazon of freelancers, and you don't necessarily want to be that in this case, because then you're just going to be always feel like be catching up on work. And then you're just going to like have these just slow months, or just like 1 month is just going to be full of work because you can't take on anything else. It's just going to be that constant cycle for you.
Yeah, I like that. Don't be the Walmart of freelancers, be the Target, right?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Now, Dan, I know you had another piece of advice to help keep this steady flow of clients and work so you don't avoid. What's your last piece?
Yeah. So the next, little tip that I had here was add more retainer work to your workflow, right? I think, the biggest reason that freelancers are most commonly known for feast and famine versus other business owners is because we tend to do a lot more project-based work, right? When a website project comes in, you write all the copy, it's done. People don't need new websites every month, right? So at least not most companies, right? So add some more retainer workflow so that, you can rely on that month over month and know, oh, shoot, I don't have to find as much, new clientele every month because I've got, this company's paying me every month to write and update their blog for SEO or whatever it is. I think, like if you take an accounting firm as an example, right, they're working with clients every month because they're balancing the books, doing everything that they do. It's a monthly ongoing service. That's the way it goes. Yeah. So kind of think like more of a business owner and think, how can I make some of these services more retainer, long-term client base so that I'm not always having to pound the pavement as hard to find as many clients every month?
Yeah, I love that. And like, it doesn't necessarily have to be content marketing if that's really not your thing. Like if you're a conversion copywriter, if you're a designer, like find opportunities where you can help like design something for their newsletter. Like find a way, talk to the business owner, grow that rapport, and find opportunities where you can have those longer relationships and know that you have, this monthly revenue coming in. So great advice there, Dan. And yes, everybody. So that's what we have today for how to avoid the feast or famine cycle for good as a freelancer, because it will happen. But if you follow these tips and be consistent with it, we're confident that it can help you avoid this cycle. So thank you so much for listening, everybody, today. Now, before we go, and hopefully to try to keep this under our 10-minute mark, I just want to share some recent reviews that we got on Apple Podcast.
Oh, sweet.
We had some from this past month. We have from IROC, IRROC. After listening for a first time, it was refreshing hearing someone give advice about written content. I look forward to learning more from your show. Thank you so much. And then Ready, Set, Jen, I just found you guys and love all the tips. I'm excited to keep listening. So thank you guys so much. If you do listen on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe, leave a review and high rating. We really appreciate those if you do like what you hear. If you don't, maybe just keep it to yourself. I don't know. Maybe.
Keep it to yourself.
That's okay. Just don't promote us. But no, we appreciate. Yeah. We appreciate everyone listening. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, really wherever you find or listen to podcasts. We're there. Search the Copy Corner. We really appreciate it. And then we do these live on YouTube and then the Facebook Copy Co-op group too on Mondays before it goes out. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching live to everyone who did. We will see you on the next episode of the Copy Corner. Cheers.